Why does the exact same coffee cost $2 in one cafe and $6 in another, even if it's literally the same beans? And here's the weird part. People still buy the $6 one. Not because they're rich, not because they don't care, but because something deeper is happening. Something you interact with every single day without even noticing. Now think about this. Every time you buy something, every time you choose between two options, you are participating in a system that decides prices, wages, rent, and so on. You've been doing economics your entire life without ever realizing it. So in this video, I'm going to break down microeconomics in the simplest way possible. No formulas, no confusing definitions, just the real logic behind how people, businesses, and prices actually work. Welcome to Martic Finance, where we explain investing concepts in a simple way. But first of all, a quick disclaimer. This is not financial advice. Let's start with something simple. What is microeconomics really? Microeconomics is just a fancy word for something you already do every single day. It's the study of how people make choices when they can't have everything. Should you buy coffee or save that money? Should you take the cheaper apartment farther away or the expensive one closer to work? Every one of those choices is microeconomics. And here's the key idea most people miss. Microeconomics doesn't start with money. It starts with scarcity. You have limited time, limited money, or limited attention, but unlimited things you could do with them. And because you can't have everything at the same time, every choice automatically creates a trade-off. If you spend 2 hours watching videos, that's 2 hours you're not studying, working, or sleeping. If you buy expensive shoes, that's money you can't spend on something else later. It's not just what you choose, it's what you give up when you choose it. That hidden sacrifice is called opportunity cost. Now, let's go one level deeper. Because so far we've said you have limited resources, so you make trade-offs. But that still doesn't explain something really important. Why do people choose what they choose? Why does someone pick the $6 coffee instead of the $2 one? Because humans don't just make decisions based on logic. They make them based on something called utility. In simple terms, utility means how much satisfaction or happiness you get from something. So when you choose something, your brain is not asking what the cheapest option is. It's asking, what makes me feel better overall? So even when two options are basically similar in value, people don't choose equally. People are not perfectly rational. They are predictably emotional. And companies understand this better than anyone. That's why marketing works. Now it's time to connect everything. So far, we've talked about scarcity, why you can't have everything, trade-offs, what you give up, and consumer behavior, why you choose what you choose. But now comes the big question. How do all of these individual decisions turn into actual prices? This is where supply and demand comes in. On one side, you have demand, how much people want something at different prices. On the other side, you have supply, how much of that thing is available. Now imagine a simple example. A new sneaker drops. There are 1,000 pairs available, but 50,000 people want them. What happens? Exactly. People start competing for them. And when demand is much higher than supply, the price goes up. Now flip it. Imagine there are too many products sitting unsold, but not enough buyers. What happens? Companies lower prices to attract demand. Said that, the price is where supply and demand meet in balance. Not perfect or fair balance, just the point where buyers and sellers agree. And that's why prices constantly move. Concert tickets get expensive because demand spikes, and housing becomes expensive because supply is limited. Nothing is fixed. Everything is reacting.